Alrighty. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are. Welcome to the Logan's Hour again. Today promise to be a very good one. I can rest assure you. All right, we are back. Sorry for that technical problem. I have a little technical problem in the background, and I was glad my producer was able to jump on it as quick as possible. So, welcome again to all of you here joining the Logan's Hour tonight. I want to say thank you for joining, and to some of my other people who are going to join us just shortly. Um, uh, Hold on just a second. We have few people going to join us here, and it's going to be a very good show. I can rest assure you as usual. And tonight, I want to say to all of you following us out there, welcome again to the Logan's Hour. Thank you for joining us, and make this place your place. Let's have fun. Let's know what's happening in the Liberian community. Let's know what's happening around the world. So before my people join me here tonight, I want to first of all throw some advertisement out there. If you live in the Liberian community and you are looking for a job, don't look anywhere else. Assure Residential and Consulting um, is the place to go. They're hiring DSP and they are in search for the program director as well. Just a little information there. All right. So if you live in Indianapolis and looking for a way to find all the African food, don't forget Janje Business. And if you want to do your hair, looking for hair product, don't forget we got our sister Marion. So we're gonna play just a short intro from promotion for Marion. We come back and trust me, I know some of my manager and while playing the song, the campaign song, they were like, "Hey God." You know, somebody hater them when they hear this song, they go on,
Who's the power to let people? There's a feeling Logan. Now you be the hero on Indiana land. No more can stand. Say the people land on our path.
All right, there you have it. So let's go to our sister and play just a short promo, and we'll be back.
Hey, beautiful ladies of Indianapolis. Are you looking for a beauty place where you can buy all your latest human hairs and other beauty accessories? Look no more. The MD Beauty Salon, located at 3429 Kentucky Avenue, is just that right spot for all your beauty needs. At MD's, our customers' satisfaction is our foremost priority. Our staffs are friendly and accommodating. Contact us today on 317-360-2624. MD Beauty Salon, your one-stop shop for all your beauty needs. And hey, ladies, when you get there, tell Mariette that the girl is Cynthia.
The Gertie Santia. So, sorry for that. To all of my people in Indiana and the rest of the world, we want to say welcome again to the Logan's Hour. And today is a very good day, and today is a very good show. And to my people back home in Liberia, I say y'all have to hold your heart. We know the rice business is not easy, and we know you people are capable of adapting new things because listen, rice is our staple food. I understand. Even those in the diaspora eat rice every day. Don't see that in the Western world and feel that they're eating hamburger and dinner. No, 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 no. Some of them even put a rice in the bag and go to work and lunchtime eat, come back home eat rice, in the morning eat rice, in the evening eat rice, like that. That's some people I know. Even I had a friend here. He moved out of state now. He don't eat nothing else besides rice. So I know Liberia rice is our staple food, but let's try to adapt to some other things. You see, the American here today, they are adapted to potatoes. Most of them from Texas and other places. They used to eating potatoes. Let's start eating potatoes, and trust me, if we can try hard to see if we can have another food to supplement the the problem of rice, we will not be fighting for rice this way because by now our local farmers supposed to start getting involved and producing cassava and potatoes and edibles, and even those in government. That's why we said the other day, if the government can incentivize local farmers and to produce these things, and some of the plans I have, if I fortunate enough to go back home and settle, just to build a large storage and go back to the farms and allow those people who producing those things and I go to the farm and buy, store it, and distribute it, or if possible, you make the farm, just leave it on the farm, come and pick it up and sell and pay you ever whoever person own those produce, because it's important that our local farmers have way to sell their produce. The reason why they are not making large farms because the feels that if they make those farms, how can they sell the produce? Because of barrel condition and because of other factors. Because of other factors. So all right, let's recognize some of the people who following us here tonight. And we ain't gonna jump straight into the conversation yet. I have my beautiful wife Sama Hamu Logan, Celine Valentino, Olivia Cheye, Mawen Soso, Anita Pena, Bethany Hattie, Precious Logan, Eve Goffin, Titi Banks, Tutu McCarthy, Ase Goffin, John Blamo, Olivia Cheye. Okay, I'm breaking in. Ready? Anyway, thank you for that. I will let me look it up and see what's happening. But I think I should be okay. But maybe let me look it up. I will check. Let me check my marketing and see. All right. So let me be sure that my voice is coming up good. If you're out there, if you know I'm breaking or my voice is not coming up, please let me know if my voice is not coming up better. I think what we're breaking in is the team song, the way it is stored in the system. So we will have to delete and also restore it because I think I've already coming up.
Them like a cow open the skin. What I pay for you buy, you pay having people think plenty people selling and tear on the land. So I'm beginning, I'm feeling again coming.
Yeah, so we will have to go back and redo the song, put the song back in. I think the way in which the producer put the song in and it never came in the right way. So that's why you have a little break in the song. And we have the song also on our banner here as well. So I show on the banner it won't break in. Let me go on the banner and see how it plays.
So shout baby, take on. You can hang the touch. Really, yeah.
When you see feeling, you're more getting you. Indiana people talking but talking too. The strong of the strike, I may properly you. So all my single mother, should be jubilating, come is a feeling Logan. Gonna be a blessing like coming for the people. I'm beginning, I'm feeling Logan coming. I'm beginning, when I see feeling coming. I'm beginning, I'm feeling Logan coming. Position game. When the king of the jungle not around, all the KK dollar can be around bluffing. I feel it coming with force. Reuniting you, advocating for the poor. We salute you with the power to the people. There's a feeling Logan, that you be the hero on Indiana land. No more get them. Let the people live on our bad experience. Make politicians them, they can open the skin. What I pay for you, buy you can having people them, plenty people selling and tear on the land. So I'm beginning, I'm feeling Logan coming. I'm beginning, when I see feeling coming. I'm beginning, I'm feeling Logan coming. Position game.
Y'all get away, get away, get away, get away. Y'all get away to G-Fele. Y'all open for Fele. They respect he will kill it. They made too scared for here. Whole thing coming with the whole place. I see no opposition. I see no competition. The championship for Fele. Indiana nyo be down be pa Fele. The power. In Basson nyo be down be full Fele. Full mother, all the elders Fele. Ready layer. Sans a new nyo be one when you will bring you together. Be there for children play.
Feeling looking coming. I'm beginning. La Jivan Smith coming. I'm beginning. Amore Kua coming. I'm beginning. Mama Kimenji coming. I'm beginning. Bonnet Abba coming. I'm beginning. I'm beginning. I'm beginning. I'm feeling Logan coming. I'm beginning. When I see feeling coming. I'm beginning.
Son shadow baby. J-Con. Indiana nyo be surgery. Very dear.
When you see feeling, you're more against you. Indiana people are talking but talking too. The strong of the strike, I may properly you. So all my single mother, should be jubilating, come is a feeling Logan. Gonna be a blessing like coming for the people. I'm beginning, I'm feeling Logan.
All right, all right, all right. That was so beautiful. Thanks to our producer. I want to say a very big one to you. We ready. Enjoy this, man. Man, listen, this election should be about fun. It should be about unity. It should be about speaking to the truth. It should be about so many things that unite us and what divide us. Some of those political rhetoric that we sent out there, some of those missiles that we sent out there, it's not intentional. It's just the point that we are in the silly season. That's why the American people refer to it as the silly season. The period is just for this moment. So some of you out there that are getting in your feelings so early, take it easy. Take it easy. After this, we will stay be together. So let's have fun. Let's enjoy ourselves and they enjoy the moment. So I just gonna go right away and bring in my two studio panelists tonight, and I can see the first person on here. I can see the powerful Bernie Alpha. Those in Liberia always asking the other day somebody called me and they were like, "Who that girl? I was just talking like that." I said, "Her name is Bernie Alpha." "What that girl? She's eloquent." I said, "Oh, but I got one to school in America now." "Yes, man. She did her elementary in Liberia. She came, she completed high school and college here. So you expect her to be smart." You know, Liberia, they get like to do 30 subjects. So when you come here, you see 4 subjects, you say, "Oh, but you're wrong over there. I was doing 30, you can't give me 4. I guess stay in town." So, well, okay, let me bring my man in first, Jivon. Then we'll bring Bernie Alpha. Jivon. Hey, it'll blow you. I think you are muted. Mhm. There you
Yes,
have it. How are you, my dear brother?
I'm doing great as always.
Okay. Let me bring our dear sister in, Bernie Alpha. I say the people in Labro, that's their own. Bernie, you got fan in Labro. Let me tell you now. Yo, you got too many fans in Labro the other day when you appear. People Start sending me texts. Who I get? I get her on the show, Brandy. She's smart. She's eloquent. I said, "Oh, what you talking?"
Thanks to my parents.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yep. So there you go. There you have it. Today is FOP day, man. We discussing FOP, strictly FOP, and we'll touch some other things. Probably Jivon would love to throw light in on the current situation in Liberia because don't see him like that. He's a farmer as well, and he's the son of a farmer. So those of you who know about growing rice and growing cassava, Jivon knows about that as well. So let's just go straight to Mr. Jivon Smith, then we'll come back to you, Bernice. Jivon, what is going on in Liberia currently? The shortage of rice. It's not easy. Our people, they are crying on a daily basis, looking for rice to eat. But before you can go through that, just speak to our people and introduce yourself first, then we will hit that point for again.
Yeah, well, good evening, good afternoon, morning, good night, wheresoever you are. The same old guy, Jivon Smith. Few words, straight to the point. Indiana community.
So that's the man, according to man of little words. All right, let's hear from our sister Bernie Alpha. Bernie Alpha, introduce yourself to our people, girl.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bernice Alpha, and we inside.
We inside. So the promo you saw playing just now, the lady you saw sitting in the chair, Bernie Alpha running as parliamentarian. She's right here, the tough talking Bernie Alpha. You heard her from the beginning. She said, we're inside. So we'll come back. We'll talk about the rice issue a little. Then we'll go back straight to what we came here tonight. So before we go through that, let's show you what we're here for tonight. Let's play our intro. Just one more. Then, if I want to play the intro, you can see the intro?
No. Once I'm in studio, I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's from my phone.
Maybe proper play. All right. We will be back.
Shout baby, take on. Indiana be touchy. Really here.
When you see feeling, you're more getting Indiana people are talking but talking too. The strong of the strike, I may follow you. So all my single mother should be jubilating, come be some feeling Logan. Don't a real blessing like coming for the people. I'll be getting I'm feeling Logan coming. I'll be getting when you see feeling coming. I'll be getting I'm feeling Logan coming. Of the jungle, not around. All the KK dollar can be around bluffing. I feel it coming with force. Reuniting you, advocating for the poor. We salute you with the power to the people. There's a feeling Logan that you be the hero on Indiana land. No more can stand. The people land on our bad spirit. Take politicians, them they can open the skin. What I pay for you, buy you pay having people tempt and they plan the people selling and tear on the land. So I'll be getting I feel it again coming. I'll be getting when I see it coming. I'll be getting I feel it again coming. Position getting
Don't get way to G-Fede. Don't open for Fede. They waste by he kill it. They made too scared for here. What he coming with the whole place. I see no opposition. I see no competition. The chairmanship for Fede. Indiana nyo be down be pa Fede. The pow. In Bason nyo be down be full Fede. Full mother. All the airlines Fede. Ready layer. Sounds like you nyo be one when you will bring you together. Be here for children play.
Fede looking coming. I'll be getting like Jivon Smith coming. I'll be getting I'm away to walk coming. I'll be getting I'm a Kimenji coming. I'll be getting on it Ava coming. I'll be getting I'll be getting I'm feeling again coming. I'll be getting when I see it coming. I'll be getting
some shadow baby take on. Indiana be touchy. Really here.
When you see feeling you're more against you. Indiana people are talking but talking too. The strong of the strike, I may follow you. So all my single mother should be jubilating. from it of feeling Logan. Do the real blessing that coming for the people. The beginning of feeling Logan.
All right. I told y'all tonight gonna be hot. The other person I'm about to bring on the screen, when you see her, y'all be like, "Oh God, Indiana on fire tonight!" Oh my God! There you have it. There you have it. How you doing, Hawa?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. You want to lay your phone in the landscape mode so you can fit the screen?
Okay.
There you
Uh,
go.
Hold on.
I think if on the setting from the tab, you just go to auto.
Oh, okay.
Yep. If it didn't work for you, no problem. But right on the
You
top, you
sure?
got okay, screen rotate. There you have it. Keep on by he driving so he don't have to. Yeah. So folks following us, this is the team. We have the rest of the other people. Maybe they would join us, but maybe later on. So we have tonight is Friends of Philip Knight, and we have Jivan Smith, and we have our sister Hawa Kilima, and we have our tough talking Bernie Alpha tonight. You're gonna hear from them. You're gonna hear from them, and trust me. Somebody asking if we can appear on their show. We will discuss that. The team will discuss that. His name is Emmanuel Mose Naweson Tokpa Jr. Yep, we will discuss that, Moses. Then we will get back to you, Emmanuel. Okay, he said the radio station is in Bon County, Banga. So we will discuss it. If you want a team to appear on your show, we will also appear on your show because what we are vying for is to become a help to Liberians, regardless of where you live. So whether you're in Liberia, the United States, Canada, the Australia, we want to become help to everyone. So we'll appear on your show and make our case as well so the people of Bon County can know that this team is here to stay. So I know Brandy introduced herself. So Hawa, can you introduce yourself to our people, please?
Yes, my name is Hawa Kinema, and I am running for chaplain for the Liberian community.
All right, you heard it. Hawa Kidima, she running for the chaplain of the Liberian community. They play right now. I know one person somewhere sitting and just clapping at her little sister, the cuff. Pamela Kwesi. Right now, she jumping. Oh, there you go. There you go. Trust me. Like I can die for her sister. Yeah. Mr. Jiva Smith. So we will go to our two ladies here first, and we'll come back to Mr. Jivan Smith. And it's about the Liberian community. Okay. All right. Jivan Smith going to come on shortly. So it's about the Liberian community. It's about we getting into the race, and we have been named. We have been. Some people have branded us are too young. Some people saying we are too old. And there are so many names out there, names calling, and people looking for all kinds of things to just gain political relevance. And you looking at these electioneering processes that we are walking in through. So let me go straight to Hawa. Hawa, you as a person, you have lived in a community for some time and you have seen election come and election go. Presidents come, president go. Which kind of election are you look forward to seeing in this community as we live here and grow our children here? Are you looking forward to see a more divisive election where after campaigning process we don't speak to each other? The new administration takes forever to unite the people. Which kind of campaigning process do you look forward to as you live in this community?
Well, first and foremost, I look forward to a fair election process. I look
Okay.
forward to a fair election process. I feel like all the candidates were all voluntary. It's a voluntary process, and also we should be it should be fair in all fairness for both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Which regardless which side you're on. Okay, we should have a fair election, so that way whosoever win, we all can come together as one because we all are aiming for a common goal.
It's true.
So I mean, with all the fighting, with all the backbiting, I really don't think it is called for because at the end of the day, The only thing we have at heart here is our community.
That's a fair one. That's a fair one. So, Brandy, that go to you. Same question. Which kind of election or campaign process do you look forward to seeing in this community as you have lived here for some time?
Like she said, a fair one where everybody is given the same opportunity to do what it is they need to do for their community. As she also stated, we're all volunteering here for our community. Nothing is personal, but that does not mean that we will not fight for fairness in the community. Because if that's one of the issue, that's what we're going to do. So everybody should have a fair and equal right to volunteer and serve their community as a Liberian.
Thank you so much, Brandy Afa and Hawa Kilima. And I know you both spoke about the fair process, the reason why the noise is increasing or the noise have increased over the time because of unfair practices. So we have Mr. Jivan Smith. Mr. Jivan Smith, I know you are following, and I just posed a question out there, and I'm asking, which kind of election do you look forward to see in this community? The kinds of campaigning that you have seen over the past time. Do you think it is why you look up to when you are getting into this electionary process to see a campaign where people naming people, people have different character assassination? What do you look forward to see?
I like to be a realist.
Mm-hmm.
Our culture, our society, our community will always have elements, and for some reason, we'll have them. They have become the loudest. You know, they say the empty drum.
Mm-hmm.
Wants that, you know, always being derogatory, calling people names, attacking people personally. Attacking, dragging people, family connections, and stuff in the things. So to say that I don't expect that, yes, we do. But what I do look forward to
Mm-hmm.
is for every one of us, whether we serve the coin you're on politically, when it happens, whether you for me or you're not for me, got to come out and condemn that person.
Okay.
That's what I look forward to. A single voice condemning and calling out this perpetrator. No, any society that has dealt away with the culture of shame is a society that is doomed for failure. Because the reason why people don't do certain things or shy away from doing certain things is because they still have a element in it that makes them shame. But once you have no shamefulness at all in your society, I mean everything goes.
That's true. That's true. Now, while we talk about electoral process and talking about the counts of election or campaigning process that we look forward to, there's this key question I wanted to ask each of you here. And I know from each of us perspective, we have different views as to how we thought it should have been. Because Jivon talk about people volunteering their services to the community, they needed to be respected or they need to be respected. How do you feel with the current bull advisory that came up uh, to the community? It was posted in the community chat, and it was advised to the election commissioners. And the response from community dwellers, some of the community dwellers, has not it has not been pleasant to a lot of people who saw that on the chat. They have been attacking personalities. They have been attacking people who took their time to put these documents together and disseminate those documents to the community. What do you make of that? Looking at some of our statesmen who have been respected over the time to be dragged into the mud because of common community elections. Let's start with Jivan and go to Bernice.
Well, this this disheartening, is shocking. It shocked the conscience of the community. That even there were a few people that would not comment but decided to at least remain silent, how to come up and speak up. That's to show how degrading it is. The the issue is you have to look at things in context
Mm-hmm.
and content. Take your personal feelings out of it. We're not all going to agree. The
Mm-hmm.
decision we as a team, we so the background on this for those who were watching, then I have some detail. Let me just, if it may permit me the time, let me just give a little
Yes.
bit background on this.
Yeah. Go
The
ahead.
board keep up with that message or that communication based on a letter we wrote the board, asking the board like, hey, we see there are certain irregularities that are going on. Can you help us so that we can mediate this? We need some mediation. And
Mm-hmm.
in our communication, we uh, call out the EC for several, irregularities against what we felt was the deadline, August 13th, and then our deadline was moved back for, and then when the deadline was moved back, other candidates were given opportunity to take some corrective actions. So that's all we brought our issue to the board about. We and the EC and the board sat in a meeting and we talked about it. In fact, if you recall, almost like who have come out and say, "Oh, the board was back in the EC,"
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
we had exchanges back and forth. It was cordial. We disagree on principles, fundamentals, strategies, and all that was used, even the procedures. The board listened to us. They listened to the EC, and we came out of there. We didn't go out. Oh, the board is being biased against us or whatsoever. We talk about it. Say, hey, we reach out to the board. What's our decision to come up with? Going to, even if it's not in our favor, which of course
Mm-hmm.
the decision that came up was not in our favor. That's not what we requested.
It's true.
But yet, still, our request was go draw the line on August 13th, and everybody in violation after August 13th gets denied. That's our stand up to today's date. That's what we want to see. But the board came out had a different perspective. For the community at large, they felt it's a better perspective. So for
Mm-hmm.
the board to come up, put a communication out there and disagree with the board on the content. What they wrote in there, disagree with them. But you want to tell me someone that has served this community, even I don't care how we disagree with it, what was their intention? What do you think their intentions would be? Got people, ready for people on there who have served this community. Even if they don't know their way around, they stood up in the gap. They held the line and they
Yeah.
still serve. And then because they put out a decision, it was an advice. It wasn't even the board even say the board even make, it almost like an opinion. It was
Mm-hmm.
even in a legal term. When the Supreme Court gave an advice to the lower court, definitely it's almost like a direct order.
It's true.
You know. So when I approach it from that angle, let's approach it from the angle that is the board was giving the EC an advice. Does that mean that the secretary of the board have to be called names and just being disrespected? Why all the personal attacks? I'll give it to my sister Bernice.
Yes, Brandy, come in.
Yeah, so I mean, similar to what he had to say, basically, this is a campaign. We have guidelines that we have to follow. If
Mm-hmm.
the guidelines are not followed all the way through on both ends, these are these are things that happen. And as somebody running, whether or not you're volunteering, if you feel that your rights have been violated, you have a right to go ahead and do what you need to do to make that correct. And that's what we did. Like he said as well, our decision, because some people think we just have to, they just want to come in here, they feel entitled. We don't feel entitled. As our right as a Liberian in this community, we have a
Mm-hmm.
right to serve, and we will fight for our right to serve, whether or not they whoever agree with it or not. You can't tell somebody you too new, you too old, you too young, because here's the thing: the message for the people that are saying we're too young. Here's the message you are sending to your children when they get out of college or they want to go up for a job in the real world. Are they supposed to be scared if they know they qualify for that job? Or are they supposed to say, oh, I'm new to the company, so I'm not going to go up against anybody? Is that why we're pushing out here? No. If you feel that you qualify for something and you can make a difference in your community, you are supposed to be given a chance to showcase those skills. So you can, it's all about community betterment. It's never personal. So again, they should have attacked the decision content, but not go after one person, because that had one thing has nothing to do with the other. Because everybody in this community know each other and is connected in one way or another. So
Hmm.
are we to say the same thing, that because the mishaps that were made on the EC's part is due to their family ties to the other candidates or wherever that is? No, we didn't say that. We pointed out the real issue, and we are now in about to get that issue solved.
Thank you so much, Brandy's Alpha. Howard, I know you've been following, but you've been busy with your work. The board sent an advisory out to the EC, and all of a sudden, individuals, board members were under attacks. And trust me, people went out then to the point where they have to come back in a clapback. The American man can say. What do you make of that?
Well, I read the statement that, the board posted,
Mm-hmm.
in the LAI chat room, and I felt like that was a sound decision because we came to them, with our complaint, and they review our complaint, and the board found discrepancies
Yeah.
during the vetting process of the election. Okay, and they felt like when they used the word "let peace reign," they used that word because even the opposition side, they also had violation. They
Mm-hmm.
have also have violation, and they claim that we also had a violation. And you
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Yeah.
So I mean, they have violation. We claiming, and they're claiming we have a violation. So presenting our claim to the board, the best thing they could do, because even they found on discrepancies with the EC, and they also advised the EC
Mm-hmm.
that they should go ahead and grant us, qualification to be able to run and be part of the election. I mean, I felt like it was a great idea. It was a very good idea that, that decision was made because guess what? Digging deeper, let's say, what if they were going to reject our claim?
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? It was going to bring a bigger problem because guess what? It wasn't going to look good for us.
It's
And we were
true.
going to probably take that further. And also, the new development that I learned with our 501c3, taking all that into consideration, they want to avoid all the rigmarole. So, with that statement, let's do this in a peaceful manner. That statement goes deeper.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I
It goes
understand.
it goes deeper than that. And with the attack, you know, regardless, we in America, regardless, we all pay our own bills. Regardless, we are all grown. We still have to keep our cultural mindset and be respectful to our elders. Okay? Because reading some of those messages that was sent to Dr. Momo Formule, it was very disheartening for me, very disrespectful. And for him to at least come back and also explain to them that, hey, this is the situation with the 501c3, not taking into consideration that this man stood for the community. Because honestly speaking, until all this came out, I was not aware that the 501c3 was in this man's name for the community.
And
I
that's a
was
serious
not.
risk.
It's a serious risk. I'm not. I'm not. So taking the board statement into consideration, they probably said that, you know what, let's take a look at this. Okay, the EC has some glitches with this vetting process.
It's true.
Looking at our complaints,
Mm-hmm.
and they felt like, okay, maybe their complaint is valid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in order for us to bring peace, let these people just run and let the community decide. Okay, because even I didn't know the community 501c3 was in this man's name. Because think about it. If we say to ourselves, okay, because this election was not fair to us, and we take another stand, what would that look like for our community?
That's a point.
Does that
Yeah.
make sense? So let me tell you something. Dr. Formula, he is not a, somebody used the statement of dumb. He's not a dumb man. Initials George, they are not dumb people. They sat on it, they thought about it, and they say, you know what? Let's just go ahead and make this happen and let the community decide. What is the big deal that we did not meet the deadline? What is the big deal that we did not attend meetings? And come to find out, they don't even have the correct meeting uh,
Attendance.
attendance.
Yeah.
So the board came out with this statement. Why
Mm-hmm.
they can just let it go? And even as knowing, people don't sit and think. The secretary came out and stated that yes, the 501c3 is in my name. Can that put chills in somebody and say, whoa, what happened to our community? Why? Because a 501c3 is not a community, it's not supposed to be in an individual's name. It's supposed to be in a community name. Come on. Are we thinking? So the next question should be, how can we rectify this issue? This is serious. How can we rectify this issue? How can our five, because honestly speaking, our 501c3 is not reinstated. No, because it's in
Mm-hmm.
somebody's name. It's in
Mm-hmm.
an individual name. It's not in a community name. But because he loved his community and he put his neck on the chopping board, now he's being called all kind of names. I feel like those who all disrespected him needs to apologize. And I don't care if you're watching this, if you want to say anything about me, just tell me something I don't already know. Because our Liberian people sometimes tend to know more about you than even yourself.
It's true.
So
You're right.
personally, I don't care. And publicly, I want to apologize to Mr. Formula in this open forum. Daddy, I apologize. You are not a dumb, you are not a dumb individual. Don't even use that term. You are well respected in the community. And when I saw that statement that you released, I said, wow, this man is really thinking. Yes. And you guys did well. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve our community. Thank you.
Trust me, how you touched my heart. You touched my heart because you see when you were speaking, just what Brandy and Jivon spoke about. That's what ran into my mind. Some of the people who you see being disrespectful and calling names, those are things they had planned long ago. They were just looking for the perfect opportunity to just vent those things out. It's like somebody say they're drunk, that's why they're acting rude. Obviously, you know it was premeditated. I want to drink the alcohol. When I behave certain way, then I would say because of the alcohol, this is why I behave this way. They knew exactly what they're doing, and they did it intentionally. Trust me. Some of those people who went after some of our board members, specifically that the family, they knew exactly what they were doing. It's not anything about politics. It had nothing to do with politics. Because two parties into the race, we filed a complaint. Our expectation were never met. We filed our complaint on specific issues. The board never grant us what we wanted. The board said in the name of peace, let's peace reign. We never make any comment on those things. We kept quiet. We waited. We saw other people who do not have any link to these parties or to these processes. They start to vent their angers and vent insults, which of course is wrong. Politics should not tear us apart. This is a community election. It's not a national election. Whoever person become president or vice president or secretary general or parliamentarian or treasurer, you are doing a voluntary work. This is a free work that eat up your time as well. So why should we use this time to tear ourselves apart? Why should we use this time to send some derogatory things out there that tomorrow after the election, you and your brother cannot unite? It makes no sense. We have to do better than this. If we want to grow, we have to change our approach. I'll go back to Javon Smith. Maybe you have something
Yeah,
to say.
yeah. I'd like to pick on some specific content that was in our communication from the board.
Mhm.
The board even gave the EC, the thumbs up, like, hey, you guys' intention were good. The administration or the leadership is responsible for the error where they connected Frank with Hoti Palmer. The both of them had issue with payment, and the board even brought it up to the attention of the EC, like, hey, these both parties, they fall in the same wavelength. The both of them. So how are you going to address it? If the leadership screw the both of them up because of a technical issue which can happen, and then the EC come up and place a chopping board and put one person on the chopping board and immediately boom, and then the other person, they say, hey, we give you time to correct the error that the leadership make. It's not your fault. Where's the fairness in there? Come on, guys. One of my brother, when the EC used the term of connotative and denotative meaning of guidelines.
Yes, I remember.
It's interesting because, and I think I want to address a side note. There's something
Mhm.
I'll bring Saki will feel that if I so if I feel if I succeed at one thing, it means I'm good at everything. Yeah, I know it all. That's why even in this great United States, they have school of excellence, school of leadership. How many professors or PhD holders or doctorate degree holders do you see running for public offices? Because leadership is a different ballgame
It's true.
because they don't know it all. They are specialized in a specific field. On the board, we have is Octavia there. Is Octavia is a law enforcement personnel.
Hmm.
Have you heard the term before? Do not drink and drive. Do all
Yep.
I heard that.
Yep.
I'm yet to see one person that have been convicted for drinking and driving. It might shock you, but here's the point.
Yeah, you can be
There's
drinking water and driving.
exactly because there is why it is do not drink and drive. It is, and we are seeing advertisement. Even some cities use that, but that's the connotative meaning they are implying. But there is no law or statute in the book that says a person will be found guilty for drinking and driving.
It's true.
So when you're talking about guidelines, you talk about rules, you don't talk about connotative meaning, you go by the denotative meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And my law enforcement brother on the east, he knows that.
Mm-hmm.
You can he knows he cannot charge anyone and say, hey, I'm charging you for drinking and driving.
There has to
Oh,
be
a
a
defense attorney.
certain how much he was drunk.
Yeah.
What was his alcohol level?
No, it's not even gonna they're not even gonna pay attention to that. A defense attorney will have a field day with you. Oh, sir, are you trying to say, do you know what you said my client was drinking and driving? Was he drinking water? Is that a crime to drink water and drive?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. But the rule said, most of them say, operating a vehicle while intoxicated, driving under the influence.
Influence.
Those words are specifically stated in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about rules and guidelines and stuff like that, it's not connotative meaning. Because if it's connotative meaning, that means that the law can hold us at any time. I can be drinking juice and I'm driving and oh, the law said don't drink and drive. So guess what? I'm going beyond bars. We have Mr. Duo on the EC out there too. Firm mind, analytical. How can you set a deadline for August 13?
Mm-hmm.
The both parties. It's after August 13 that you get to know that both parties were actually, or there was an error made in the payment, technical error from the leadership how they reported it. After you got to know, after the fact, after your deadline,
Yeah.
wouldn't the right thing be, oh, no, gentlemen, in fairness, let's come back to this. What Pastor Johnny, and I want to believe. And most of the decision, I really question it. I know Pastor Johnny, I would like to take a bet. Some of these decisions were made in the absence of Pastor Johnny. Because that's a sound mind. I would talk about fairness right there, and I know that. You know, my brother Jeremiah there. He
Yeah.
must have got own little thing going on on his side. And I will be watching it so he can laugh because he know. We'll talk about that later on, my brother. I got some few pieces. But brilliant brain. My thing is this: we have to put our ego aside. It's not a personal attack.
Mm-hmm.
I know you felt offended because we put his name in the communication mode when we wrote against when we wrote our complaint against the EC. But guess what? That's why I told my brother Tavia. If you do something to a person, the person feel violated a civil right and suing you, they sue the sheriff. The sheriff
Yeah.
knew what you did. They hold the sheriff liable
Mm-hmm.
because the leader takes the blame. So if we're writing against or claim against the EC, my brother Jeremiah, unfortunately, you don't want the top. You the chairman of the EC, right? Hey, you put your neck on the chopping board. Kudos to you, but hey, you gotta expect that. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
attack anybody's personality. We did not. We labored the points and we went against it. What we felt the EC was biased against candidates from our side. And the board reiterated that like the EC used a heavy hand against some candidates and stuff like that. I'll stop there
Mm-hmm.
for now.
You're right. You're right, Jivan. Honestly, because in all fairness, most of the time, leaders take the blame. That's why even in law, I think they get something called respondeat superior. The leaders will always take the blame for their subordinates. So it's obvious, even in military, even in the hospital, even in administrations. Once anything happen, they come for who is the supervisor. How did this happen? The supervisor will give account for the honor people. So that one is obvious. So sorry, my dear brother, if you angry that we mention your name so many times in our complaints, but you are the head of the institution. So you have to face it. All right. So Brandy, you want to chip on anything else on that issue? Or how I want to chip on anything else on that issue? If not,
Yeah.
then we'll go to something else.
No, I think they understand the points that have been made. So now it's time
Okay.
for us to show them what we're here to do.
All right. So before we get to that, because while we try to talk about indisciplined attitude and the way other people's are attacking people personally, so let's talk about some of the elders who attacks the youngsters as well. Because when you go back on our group chat, you will see some of those older people or the elders have been very provocative. They have been saying some things to some of the younger people, and when the younger people respond, they see it as disrespect. And you know, like I remember I used to tell my past something when he was alive. He always used to use this Bible quote on us, and Proverbs 22:6. He said, train a child in a way he will grow that when he's old, he will not depart from it. Then I said, okay, daddy, that's fine. Then he said another one again, children, obey your parents in the law, for this is right. I said, okay, that's good. Then he said, honor your father and your mother, for your days should be long. I said, that's fair. Then one thing I always say to them, you see, when an older person provokes a young person, you obviously expect two things. Out of that younger person
Mm-mm.
might just, I can't understand what you're saying, or I will just ignore you, but not at all time. Because the Bible says, parents, do not exasperate, do not provoke your children to anger. Because if you provoke them to anger, they will say something. So if you tell a little person, because when you follow the group chat, sometimes you see some of the comments that come from some of the older people, they say something to you as a younger person, and they look forward to see how you're going to address them. If you insult a younger person, you obviously expect them to insult you as well, because they say to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. And I follow that, and most of the time we will be behind the scene calling our people back. Hey, don't respond. Hey, just ignore it. But it's getting too much to the point where they have to call us and be telling us, "You guys are holding us back," and people are saying things that we cannot respond to, and we feel people think that we are afraid. And we're saying to some of our older people who always behave that way, desist from that. Because you feel you are doing it just on a group chat, but you people are going to meet in person. And when that younger person disrespect you in person, that's going to be a little embarrassing because you will not like it. Because probably your child, your daughter, or your son might be present. And it will not be a good thing for your son who is of age of that younger person see you and that person going back and forth in something that make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a caveat to some of you who just try to provoke some of the younger people. Please stop. I know there's a campaign error process. I know you people doing it because of campaign, but sometimes you got to watch who you're trying to provoke. You got to watch who you are aiming at. Go for your peers. Go for people who in your league. Stop provoking the younger people. Please. Bernice, if you want to chip on that, it's open to you.
Yes. I just feel like everybody try to say, they expect us to just bow down while they say anything. We are the younger people, but we also are older.
Mm-hmm.
We're not kids. We deserve the same respect as we will give to others. So, with that being said, I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like as an elder, you should be trying to put your arms around the young people and encourage them to, be a part of this community and serve, show their face, be involved in everything that's going on. Because
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing about that. In order for them to know if we are what we need to be for where we need to take our community, they have to give us, the young people, the chance and the voice to show them what they taught us. It's not just about, you know, uh, being respectful to your elders all the time. Sometimes when your elders, is not respectful to you and hitting those personal attacks, that's where it goes below the belt. And we always have to speak on that, because the first thing they would say if somebody young respond back is, "Oh, that they get young now, she being rude." That's not. We all pay our own bills here, you know. So we have to, like you said, we still have to see each other in this community. We still
Mm-hmm.
have events after this. We still gonna be around. So just make sure anything you can throw out here by your friend, whether you're a young person or you're elder, make sure when the election is over, you'll be able to stand up to it with the same chest you had. Don't say, "Oh, it was because of election." Election, no election. You should still have respect. It's called friendly competition. If you don't know what that is, please look it up and let's apply that to this campaign. Because I'm telling people, it will be over soon. We'll be able to see everybody, and where you will sit then. So please be respectful to people like you want them to respect you. Thank you.
That's a fair one, Bernice. Trust me. Be respectful to others as you want to respect you. I think that's one of the golden voice, right? Or one of the scriptures say,
The
"What do unto
Bible,
others."
the big,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Do unto
Do
others.
unto others as you want them to do unto you.
That's fair. That's fair. How I want
Yeah.
to chip in?
Yeah.
Chip on that small before we
Yeah.
go.
All I want to say is, let us respect one another.
Mm-hmm.
There's a community. We have a lot of diversity in our community. Let's be welcoming to each other. Let us know that, we all, even though we're one Liberian community, we underneath one umbrella, but
Mm-hmm.
we're all from a different backgrounds, different upbringings. You know, let us continue to maintain that respect for one another, because at the end of the day, guess what? We have to come together. We have to sit. We have to talk. And trust me, we need each other. No man is an island.
It's true.
That's all I have to say. So before you utter anything from your mouth, make sure you think before you speak,
It's true.
please. Because what you put out, I don't care. It will stay there forever. What you put out stays there forever. Words are very powerful, powerful words. So just be mindful when you open your mouth to say anything. That's all I have to say. And, for me, I love everybody, even though I'm with Team Logan,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just for the community. I love my people on the other side too. We are still one, okay? We're all fighting for a common goal. So let us just respect and know that and be welcoming to each and every one of us. If you have a point, put it across respectfully, okay? That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Howard. Thank you so much. I know people following. I seen Josephine Jackson. She said the same thing here. She said, "Respect to be respected. It's not about our personal views. Respect others, no matter age or gender." Thank you so much for that, Josephine. Thank you so much. And I see Fatima family here, but I think okay, that's a personal issue she trying to hit at Jevon Smith. Before we go any further, they recognize some of the people who following us here. Samar Hamu Liwe Logan, thank you for joining us. For those of you that don't know her, she's my beautiful wife. And Celine Valentino, thank you for joining us. My wife Sosa, Bonnie Weir, Olivia Keepon Johnson, Peter Howard, Anita Pena, Precious Logan, Eve Goffin, Titi Banks, Tutu McCarthy, Asa Goffin, John Blamo, and Marwan Soxa, Sis Annie Gibson, and tons of other people. Christine, African Queen Bala,
My
Ma
sister,
Vera, Ma Vera Hamu, Sayangla Cheyi, the crime ambassador, Emmanuel Moses, now son Tokpa Jr., and Roland Kesseli. That's the thing. Oh, Cash Flow, my own sister following. Sis Vera Hamu, Fatima Famule, Josephine Jackson, Orita Joe Banks, and all of you who follow and trust me, we can't call everybody name because I think it's time consuming too. Yeah, that's true, my sister Cash Flow. Period. All right, so I know Jivam gonna join us, and what his name, Bernard Buble, our spokesperson, supposed to join us too as well. Because tonight we introduced to the community our pedophobe that talk about all Liberian involvement, and some people who follow us wanted to know what is all Liberian involvement entails. We have been posting that on the group chat as well, but for some of those people who don't know, we have the pedophile here that we felt that there's a need that we throw some light on that pedophile. But I think some people who follow us already have read our pedophile, and some people haven't yet. But we felt that, well, let's talk a little about pedophile, and because when you look at our pillars, we have four pillars. We say that's trusted leadership and service to all, better community religion, and all Liberian involvement. The reason why we haven't yet put all of the pillars to the community, because we want to do it one at a time. Because if we put a one pillar, if we all digest the pillar, because some of those who oppose our critics, what we decide to do is to give you bit and pieces. Put our pillow. We want you to critique. We want you to come back and show us where we're not doing better. You bring your pillows or you bring your platform to we critique them. So if we just put it out in bulk at the end of the day, you will not get a broader understanding as to what we intend to do, what we actually want to do for the community. Because listen, electioneering processes, the most interesting part of it is what these people coming to do. What are their track records? So what we want to do or what we intend to do, that's why we want to take our time at least every week to come and discuss one pillar. Every week to come and discuss one pillar. So tonight we want to touch on pillar 4 of our manifesto that has to do with all Liberian involvement. I think you get the name all Liberian involvement already explain yourself. But there are some ingredients that we have in all Liberian involvement. So before we go any further, we will give to Evan Jivan Smith. He will pick up from there and followed by each of us. Jivan, are you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Before we go into the pillar, I want to go back on this issue that you guys were just talking about.
Yes, about editors. Some of the editors.
And here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have a the age doesn't matter. Uh, the gender doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
In my little experience I've had, I gave this joke. Some of the physical altercations I gotten in on my job, the best ones, most of the best ones came from females.
Okay.
The house claiming our money, we could earn it. You know, so age doesn't matter. I've had a 80 plus year old make us a second thing like, hold it, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
So the age doesn't matter. Respect is respect. Disrespect is disrespect. So I'm not going to just sit on and say somebody else. Everybody that watches and listen to this, everyone deserves respect, equally so. Do not disrespect anybody, especially because of the age. Don't disrespect someone because because he's young and you use that as an excuse for the older person to say, oh, God, that kids, they're still dumb. Don't disrespect people just by their age. And I like to highlight this issue because I knew I was one of those that also came on a personal attack also
Mm-hmm.
by my brother, Mr. Anthony Gifler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe running propaganda, but at the same time, again, it's some things are just I mean, it's just awful. When he mentioned the issue about me being part of the men's group, noble organization, So I'm not going to say, oh, the all the men's group support what he said or the part of it. No, I will speak to him to give her because give her spoke as a person. So I'm not going to overgeneralize.
It's true.
Where he
I will
raised the issue
appreciate it.
that oh, did you join? He joined the men's group. Would it, and he joined the men's group for Becker Rice, and I seen got a Becker Rice, and he left. Let me lay out the facts.
Okay, please
When
do.
COVID just started,
Mm-hmm.
the men's group, in all their wisdom and trying to reach out and be there for the members, they came up with an agreement that they were going to provide some kind of relief aid to
Mm-hmm.
help the members out. In
Mm-hmm.
that relief, I know a Becker Rice. I don't know what else. So I received the call and I was put in the know, I intentionally pushed back. You talking about taking a radical stand? I took a radical stand. I said no, I don't need it. What we intend we should do is let's have the aid package there. Our members who have been affected because people are losing hours, people have been laid off. So members who have been affected, either they lost a job or lost some source of income. It could even be the spouse, the girlfriend who have been laid out. So that means they lost another source of income.
Mm-hmm.
And we need it, they'll be giving to them. I'm a frontline worker. I was privileged and blessed to go through it. I don't need it. I'm not losing my job. My hours are not being cut back. So in this light, I don't need the aid. You say something I was going to benefit from as a member of the men's group? Yes. But it's not about me. There's an example of being selfless. I got being selfish, like, oh yeah, I'm entitled to it. No. So I pushed back. I even talked to the administration for the men's group at that time. The other said we disagree on it. They explained it to me from a different point of view. And I still told them no. To the extent I did not even go to where they were doing the distribution to pick it up. So Mr. Kifler, if you're listening, I refused it. I did not go to pick it up. But then they use our culture, they use our cultural means where because I have an older, I have older people in there that I look up to or would take me and say, oh, you're my son. And one of them delivered it to my residence in my absence. I was at home, even it was one of my children home. I cannot remember who actually brought it. I only came and say, oh, someone came in and brought this over here. I even got angry over that the fact because my children were home alone. I didn't want to drag it. In our culture, when the older person gives you something, you go in the village and the old man empty the last uh, cup of rice, thin rice, and they cook it and they cooking it for you to eat. Or the last chicken they got, and they tell the trainer to catch it and give it to you. You don't refuse it. It's not. It doesn't mean you cannot afford. But culturally, it has a significance behind that. So I just let it go. I didn't need the rice. So Mr. Kifler, no. These are the facts I'm laying out there. So don't just go around just saying things. I know you're trying to. I don't know if you're doing it for attention or you're doing it to feel relevant. Whatever reason you're doing it, at least come up with some facts. State something that is factual. Don't just make up things and think you're playing politics. And the reason I'm addressing this because there's a saying that lies that is being repeated and it's not put in check starts to wear the garment of truth.
It's true. You're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that. Trust me. The old people say lies travel very faster than the truth. The truth always walks slow.
Yeah, you got the truth naked, my brother. You know that.
Yeah, the truth is always naked. Truth is slow, guy. Yeah. So that's a very great point because the other day he brought it up and I was surprised that nobody from the institution came out to say anything about it, to speak of it because it never offered well because I can be in an institution that did something during a relief time or whatever time and seeing officials from the institution come out and start. It's much everyone can say is seeing the food in your stomach. That it right there. Because you give something up and you come by and point out one of your member only because he in the political time he have a different views. So you want to point him out, and which of course is wrong. It's
Yeah,
very
I mean,
wrong.
it question me now. Like I said, I'm not going to use a broad brush and paint brush or entire group. That's a noble group, fine gentlemen in that group. But now making the question is, if Mr. Giver is having something out there tomorrow, if I go somewhere, Mr. Giver offer me a can of Coke to drink, is this something that I should accept? I don't think so because why? Now my concern is, he's going to try and hold me hostage for that in the next 5 to 10 years. Or if he offers something to my children, that's
Yeah,
scary. Those are things I keep saying when we see these ills in our community and we hear of it. We all should come up, not until it affect us individually. We should all come up and start condemning it. Whether you agree with me or not, whether you support me or not, don't wait until it happens to you. 'Cause what will happen to my children tomorrow now if he offered them a can of soft drink, like we'll say in the Liberian term, soft drink. You get in soft drink. Then 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you might see them talk about how they are ungrateful because you get in. You're having a party, the king that they drink a bottle of soft drink that he gave, and I mean they owe him their loyalty or their life.
that's a fair one. That's a fair one. I can rest assure you. That's fair. But anyway, it is what it is. We look forward to the institution to say something about it in the future though, because that don't sound well on the institution. Hey, my dear brothers, Windows Samba, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Not bad. We are here, just thinking out here, talking about some issues that are related to our community. And also, we were about to discuss one of our pillars, Pillar 4, as to what we intend to do for the Liberian people of EDM.
Okay. Sorry, I'm in the car.
Yeah, yeah. I sent you guys the link to see if you guys could be part of the conversation. That's why I was sending you guys the link. Yeah. So, oh, you on your speaker, right?
Yeah, yeah. Is it
I
is it
see.
is it a problem? Is it a problem?
I think later though, because when I say something, I can hear myself 3 or 4 times.
Hold on.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I think it's still a little
Is this
brown.
better? Is this better?
Yeah. Okay. And- By the way, when I speak it ground, I don't know if Brandy and how I getting in the same way.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, they said it granny as well in the ear. But so you got Bluetooth?
Yeah, I just connected. Let me try it again.
Yes, that would be better if you can. Oh, I see my phone.
Okay, let me disconnect and I'll get back with you guys.
All right, that would be so better because right now it's so horrible. Ooh. All right, so all right, let me just mute your mic, sir.
Yeah, please mute me while I
Okay,
disconnect.
let me mute you. All right, so I have him muted as well. So like Givon said, those things sometimes people see it to be common in institutions, but not everybody take it as it comes. Some people take exception to people calling them names. Like you go to your friend's house, you finish eating everywhere he sees you and be talking, oh, you were to my house yesterday, eat my food, you were to my house yesterday, eat my food. So we call upon the relevant administrations to talk to the member who said that on a public platform, which make no sense. If you intend to score political goal, we feel this is not a time to do that. This is about uniting our community. We shouldn't use this campaign period to tear us apart, like I stated previously, because if we decide to point out everything that happened in the past and use it in these campaign processes, it means at the end of the day, after the campaign, the community will not unite. That's why sometimes when we saying things out there, we're very careful. We are measured as to what we say, because we know whatever we say that injures somebody going to come back to us, and we have to live with the consequences of our decisions or whatever we say out there. So to those of you out there who saying some things and feel that it is campaign time, so it is right to say whatever, be careful, because your own word might come back to bite you. It might come back to bite you. So we want to say, let's use this period of campaigning as a means of uniting us and not to divide us. Because I know in the future, the way we are going with these electioneering processes, other people might have different view. Some of the other members might say, well, they shouldn't open the process of campaigning. They should just keep it closed and go to election, and the community decide whoever they want to be their president or vice president, secretary general, treasurer, or whatever. Because if election would or campaign will always divide us, then I don't think it is necessary. So to all of us out there, young people, old people, let's be very cautious as to how we disseminate our information. Because most of the time, we know campaign is about issues. It's about platforms. It's about what you can do that I can do. It's about what make you better than me. It's not about pictures. It's not about flyers. It's not about just seeing people and calling names and feel joking. You feel it's funny. Every moment you get up, you find trivialities. You find something to call breaking news. And what about you have nothing to break? That's bad. And we shouldn't entertain that. We can do better if we work together. I just thought to throw light on that before we can go any further. I mean, look, it's so funny the message, but you ate my food. All right, so FOP, you guys ready?
If you are.
All right, so let's summarize this our first platform, our pillar 4 that has to do with all Liberian involvement. We from FOP, when we talk about all Liberian involvement, like what we have been discussing here as well. So we simply trying to say to you that regardless of your color, your gender, your tribe, your sexuality, you are a Liberian. And we need all Liberians, regardless of how smart you are, if you are uneducated, to become part of this team, to move this community forward. We believe that everyone has the ability to do something in their right way. That's why this team in the pillar 4 of all Liberian involvement, we believe that no one is uneducated. In how much you can do something, you are educated in some way. Everybody don't have to go to school and graduate from Harvard University. Everybody don't necessarily have to be tall. Everybody don't need to be able. Whether you're disabled or unable or whatever able, you are welcome. And the reason why we decided to include this platform or this pillar called All Liberian Involvement, because this is one of the key elements that we have been missing all the time. Certain people have been feeling excluded from the process over the years. And before we even came up with this platform, this specific pillar that called All Liberian Involvement, we did our own assessment. We saw that certain fraction of the people, they were excluded, and we listened to their crowds and they explained to us the manner and form in which they were excluded from this noble institution for a long period of time. And certain batch of people that we spoke to, they also told us that they have been marginalized. They have never been talked to become part of the organization. They felt the organization was for a certain class of people, and they explained their grievances to all. That's why when you see in our imprints, we have portions of each of the groupings that we spoke to. So our platform here today that we're discussing, because we have 4 pillars, and we're discussing the last period that have to do with all Liberian involvement. It's inclusive of all of the people that we talk to and we interview. So it is their bits and pieces and issues that confronts the community that they feels that needed to be part of this all bigger organization called the Liberian Association of EDNM. So if you talk about all Liberian involvement, if you have our brochures, and each of them, if they have access to the brochure, they will see their lines, they will see their points, because we just want to generalize it or call name of specific grouping that we talk to, but for every group we met, they have certain things that they felt that the organization was lacking. Number one, somebody talked to us about information dissemination, proper information dissemination. And a person from the other class that we consider, or the intellectual class considered to be uneducated people, they are not uneducated. They find that they are not just letter. They can do crusade or crucifixing or whatever thing they can do. They are educated. They know how to face that. So you can call that person an educated person. They know how to make farm. They are educated in farming. So instead of us burning them, calling them uneducated people, and most of the time, some of them who told us, they said, most of the time when it comes to information dissemination, they only hear that things were posted in the chat room. But what about some of them who cannot read those things that were posted in the chat room? So they make their points. We jot down those points, and simultaneously, what we intend to do, we will be having couples of town hall meeting, at least every month or every 2 months. Come and talk to your leadership. All Liberians, regardless of where you live, regardless of your color, regardless of your gender, we will sit, we will have a perfect place. It's not a regular meeting that we always go to when it comes to our regular meeting to take attendance. This time around, it will be a town hall meeting where we can meet and have a dialogue and listen to you when we are making some mistakes. You can tell us, because like the former California governor said, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he said, every child has a story that worth listening to. And in this case, every person who live in this community have a story that worth listening to. So this leadership, the reason why we have this identical pillar called the All Liberian Inclusion or All Liberian Involvement is for you as the community dwellers. Don't see us as your bosses, but see us as your servant. Hold us accountable. You can be non-verbal, you can be verbal, you can be somebody who can walk, you can be somebody who is physically challenged. Regardless of what, you are important to this community. You are into this part of the world for a reason. That's why that pillow speaks specifically. It never navigated to the intellectual class. It's general. We say, oh, this is a time that we unite as people. This is the time that we do not look at certain persons because of the way they speak or because the way they conduct themselves, but we should look at them because they are Liberian and they belong to the Liberian community. So when you look at the all Liberian involvement, the issue that has to do with gender, we say let's trash it. Bullying, scare tactics, insult, all of that, we will have place. And few things we decided to do in the all Liberian involvement, we decided to have mentorship. We decided to have a program that our young people can learn how to go about with their daily lives. We have programs into this thing that even some of our elderly women or single mothers can also become part of. This is a whole process of integration that somebody who want to do something in certain areas and need help, you will find people available. With this all Liberian pillars, you as a person, it's a perfect opportunity for you to get involved, to become part of this, because this includes you regardless of your age. regardless of your sexuality, regardless of your tribe. With this pillow, we are asking every Liberian living in this city of Indianapolis, join us collectively. Let's unite our community. Let's work together. We shouldn't judge people by the color of their skin, in my Martin Luther King voice, but by the content of their character. And in this all Liberian pillow, small, big, tall, short, young, old, we all can change this community together collectively. No one man can do it all. No man is an island. But with the help and the inclusion of every one of us, we can do it. I was surprised when I met community members who reached out to us and told us their problems they are confronted with and issues that they confronts them daily. If you see this pillar called All Liberian Involvement, it's not just our making. It's not just the team Logan jump and just have a pillow called All Liberian Involvement. There was a conglomeration of ideas, reaching out to people, reaching out to organizations, because everybody wanted their voices to be heard. Their points should be made in this All Liberian Involvement pillar. That's why you see the first pillar we introduced to you in the Liberian community is our fourth pillar that has to do with all Liberian involvement. We know most of the time what people want to hear is the issue that has to do with trust, and we have that in our pillar. Trusted leadership. That's our first pillar. But we feel the all Liberian involvement is the crumbs because that brings all of us together. That unite us. So we are more concentrated on what unite us more than what divide us. With this all Liberian pillar, we are counting on the churches, the local organizations, the young boys, the young girls, the older folks. We can build and unite this community together. And we are looking up to every one of you. Don't sit there. Get involved. You cannot sit outside the choir and change the song in the choir. You have to be part of that choir. Like I said, I have my other colleagues here. They want to throw their 2 cents. And we'll go to Jivon. Then we'll go back to Bernice or Hawa to show their 2 cents. Jivon.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep my video off for now.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. So yeah, and they try to summarize and cover everything. I can see
Yeah.
how passionate I about it because you
Hey, trust me.
can feel for your voice, and that is good.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really talk about it. You all about it to the extent where some people thought it was. Someone questioned me. They said why you were trying to invite them to your show, and you even told them that you step aside so they can bring a moderator. They felt that I don't know if he held something personal against him. I told them, I said, no, look at it from this point of view. You feel that he knows that you're not supporting him in this
Mm-hmm.
community election, and he feel that in order to be balanced and fair, if he's the moderator, then he's going to be biased against you, against your
True.
points, and you will not have that open platform for you to be able to use it as your will and pleasure.
It's
So that's
true.
why he wanted to step aside and say, oh yeah, I didn't see it that way. So you also do, you just don't talk. Okay, and also All Liberian involvement. Whether you live in Indianapolis or the surrounding cities, whether you live in Evansville or South Bend or Bloomington or Fort Wayne, we're saying all Liberians involvement. For too long, we have limited this thing. If you look at the intent of the founding uh, fathers, I would say fathers, I didn't say fathers and mothers of this organization. If you read the Constitution, you see that they were even intended to have chapters. That means to include people like residents from other cities within Indiana. But how can they be included when we limiting this thing to just, oh, that who the other president in the community said, let me check my, I don't know whether people can go check their private phone or
Yeah.
photo and say, I did you go see that person in on my picture before? All the event I had, it never came there before. We got people working. We have single mothers in our community. We got single parents. Some people only work on weekends. Some people do two different jobs, or Monday to Friday one job, and on weekends that's when they go do the double. Because
Mm-hmm.
not just you know the reality. It's not just what we have to deal with over here. We got families back home. Once in America, we know our Liberian culture. We got families back home that are looking up to us because they cannot afford school fee and things like that. And they want to guilt trip someone, another Liberian, because, oh, where were you? They had this, you never show up in the community. What about us having a meeting? Even if it's a recorded meeting, have our meeting video recorded where someone can come back and watch it when they have time. Or you
Mm-hmm.
have a live session also going on at the same time. So when you talk all our business now, you are enabling the people that live far away. If we decide to go have meeting in Bloomington, or we decide to go have meeting in South Bend, then the people from Indianapolis that who cannot drive there. We got most people in this community are truck drivers. They cannot afford to, the time to come and sit in a meeting that usually in the next usual meeting start late anyway. Have community meeting, expect people to come spend 4 or 5 hours to sit there and go in circle and come up with one point. We can
Yeah.
streamline those things, have be respectful of each other's time. It's all Liberians. And not to sit there also and make people to be afraid to even speak up when somebody come to the meeting. They see some people afraid to speak up because what? I don't know if I speak the English or not. Where somebody here will laugh at me, somebody else will tell me something. Because we are seeing it over and over. Because someone sit there, and we have to realize that English is not our mother's tongue.
It's
We are
true.
still suffering as a people, as a nation, for this
Mm-hmm.
colonial mindset. And we take the English language and we think that because we master it, so it means that we're more Liberian than another Liberian. You can't even speak English. I don't care. You can speak your local vernacular. Come there and speak. If I can't understand what you're saying, if I have someone to interpret for me, you'll be making a very brilliant point. You have the experience that we need for that issue at that point in time.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we need. All Liberians, not just the people that we agree with that would help us to bully other people because they disagree with us on policies or even in politics. So we gang up on them, insult them, call them names, and be rude to them. We are very quick to attack other people or personality. So people shy away from the community. We got people paying dues and someone not paying dues. How do you involve everybody so that those who paying the dues don't feel disenfranchised or feel they are being used? What about we have the event where due payment members are up to date,
It's true.
can have incentives that they don't have to pay the same full price for ticket as compared to we that will be lacking on our due payment for that time free. You know, these are innovations. All Liberians have the innovations and they bring it up. But when they bring it up because it's not our own idea, then we want to shun it away. I remember there was a time here where people were saying, "Oh no, he's the president. Anything he say."
Yeah.
Where are we going with this kind of attitude? They want to sit back and inform everybody only for what? For them to collect the due money, and they
Mm-hmm.
cannot have a voice. And whether you a PhD holder, your doctorate degree holder, you have. GED, no school paper. We
Yep.
say all Liberians, whether you light skin Liberian, dark skin Liberian,
You are
well, if
Liberian.
we are Liberian, travel. In fact, the son is very interesting. I remember one time,
Mulatto.
yeah, I
You
remember
are
one time.
Liberian.
You're Liberian. I remember there was a time where we had a meeting and we were even joking. I mean, with a group of guys that we had meetings with constantly. Had
Mm-hmm.
so many gatherings over and over and over. And then time came and somebody even asked for another person tribe, and we all realized that we didn't even know each other tribes because
Yeah,
it did not matter.
it's true.
It did not matter. I mean, talking about hanging out with the same people for 2, 3 years and you don't even know the tribe because tribe does not matter.
Of course. Of
They
course.
want to stay there and think we playing for. It's not politics we playing. Those who keep putting things out there as jokes, they're not joking. That's what is within them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just looking for the medium to spew the hatred, to spew the negativity onto other people's mind.
It's true.
Then when time can say, oh, you know what, just check out our politics. No, it's not politics. That's who you are.
Yep.
My brother,
Yep.
let me put it, I'll put it this way. If a person who never learn how to curse gets
Mm-hmm.
drunk, I don't care what kind of gibberish that person will be speaking, they will not use certain curse words. They will
It's
not use
true.
the curse words they don't know. But
It's
it is
true.
now within them. And the person who vocabulary every 10 words a curse word, even what I say in Julie too when you start cursing, is what
Yep.
is within what is within us. That's what actually come out and want to pretend and blame it and use other mediums to use as an excuse.
Thank you so much, Jivan. So we'll take our team song. When we come back, we'll go to Hawa and we'll go to Brandy to just chip in on all our brain involvement. Thank you for following Logan's Hour again. We're about to take our team song.
Son Charles, baby, take on. Indiana, be sorry. Very clear.
When you see feeling, you're more against you. Indiana people are talking but talking too. The son of the strike, I may properly you. So all my single mother should be jubilating. Come is a feeling Logan. Don't a real blessing like coming for the people. I begin with a feeling Logan coming. I begin with when you see feeling coming. I begin with a feeling Logan coming. Position game with. When the king of the jungle not around, all the KK dollar can be around bluffing. And feeling coming with force, reuniting youth, advocating for the poor. We salute you with the power to the people. There's a feeling Logan that you be the hero on Indiana land. No mortgage can stand. Let the people live on a bad experience. Make politicians them they can open the skin. What I pay for you, buy you pay having people tempt and they plan the people selling and tear on the land. So I begin with a feeling Logan coming. I begin with when I see feeling coming. I begin with a feeling Logan coming. Position game with.
Y'all get away, get away, get away, get away. Y'all get away to G-Fede. Y'all open for Fede. They whisper he will kill it. They meant to skip for here. Whole thing coming with the whole place. I see no opposition. I see no competition. The chairmanship for Fede. Indiana nyo be down be pa Fede. The power. In Basson nyo be down be full Fede. Full mother, all the elders Fede. Ready layer. Sons are new nyo be one when you will bring you together. He there for children play.
Feeling looking coming. I begin with like Jivan Smith coming. I begin with Amore Kua coming. I begin with Mama Kirenji coming. I begin with Manet Ava coming. I begin with I begin with I feeling Logan coming. I begin with when I see feeling coming. I begin with
Son Charles, baby, take on. Indiana, be sorry. Very clear.
when you see
There you have it. There you have it. Single mother, chuku chuku, and all of them. We're talking about everybody here today. What's up, my dear brother? Benab Buple.
Huh. I'm doing great. How are you doing, bro?
Okay, so that's Benab Buple. That's the chief spokesperson of Team Philip. We have our financial secretary who also he wanted to be with us today, but probably he will be with us over the weekend, Mr. Morris Gould. He's one of the tough talking to, but tonight he really want to be here. But I can rest assure you, he following this conversation. He have his Bluetooth in his ear. He have to return to auto functions. So, Mr. Morris Gould and Mr. Frank Trupp. Frank Trupp could be here too as well. So we were talking about Pillow 4. Jivon just laid some points on there. I throw some light on Pillow 4. Since we have the spokesperson here, I will go to Bernice, then I will go to Hawa, then we'll come to the spokesperson. We'll close her up on Pillow 4 of our Liberian, all Liberian involvement. Bernice, you want to go on?
Yes, because this is one of my favorites.
Oh, I know
Pillars.
it. Okay, so for those of you in Liberia that have been talking about how you like how she speak, I'm going to allow her to go solo on this. So we'll leave the screen and just give it to her. Go ahead, Bernie. Make your point. Shoot your shot on
So,
this.
all Liberian involvement. Excuse me,
Yes,
guys. My
set your
camera,
phone.
I gotta hold it a little bit.
Okay.
So, this is one of my favorite pillars, and the reason why is it's very imperative in our community that we have all involvement from everybody. It's one thing for us to complain and point out the issues in a community. It is everything for us to come together as a community and solve these issues. So, with this pillar, we are able to involve everybody, whether you are new, older, young, in between, wherever you are, South Bend, Terre Haute, Noblesville, Avon, Brownsburg, and other surrounding areas. We want you guys to come out and join us to make our community better. And this is one of the very important things here in moving forward and making sure that our community is the way we want it to be. One of the reason why, when I was asked to fill this service to my community, I accepted it with open arms because I was very happy that he was very inclusive of everybody who nobody would kind of look at and say, oh, let's see what she can bring. He decided to reach out. We sat down. He let me know where he was trying to bring and what his team is going to be about. And this is why I joined, because I want everybody to know here, no matter your age, where you're from, if you're Liberian, you have a voice, you have a say so. A lot of us in the community, we know that some of us, we did step away for a little bit because when you come, people shun you away. Even when some people find out I was running for the parliamentarian position, or that one can talk, well, she know. You don't first you What you don't do in life is ever criticize somebody without knowing their knowledge. And this is what all Liberian involvement is about. We want you, whatever knowledge you have, bring it to the table, and we're willing to work with it so that we can come together and make this a better community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bernie Alpha. I know all your fans in Liberia are just clapping. Trust me, I was surprised when people call me from back home and be like, Bernie's when she coming back on the show. She's very eloquent. I said, oh my God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So Achi Kizaya and the rest of the other folks back when I've been calling me, you saw her, she's solo. She knew what she's doing. All right. So Hawa, let's touch on all Liberians involvement. Then we'll go to our spokesman to close that for us.
Thank you, Philip. All Liberian involvement for us is our fourth pillar statement because we believe that mediocrity must go. We believe mediocrity must go. The time for being mediocre is done, and the change is here. All of your involvement will deal with respect, and diversity in our community. We will be welcoming all Liberians from all the various cities in Indiana. Also, we will be engaging in any gender, whether your sexual orientation, we don't care about it. Your religious background, we don't care. Your culture, we don't care. We just want you to be involved within the community. And we are passionate about our community. And we want you to join the Logan team because we have big plans, we have big dreams, we have big vision for this team. And in the long run, I foresee us even having our own community center, you know, community center for this community where we will have maybe a volunteer who will be in our community center. This is a long-term goal. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is
Mm-hmm.
what we we're contemplating on doing. So if you're willing to join our team, we don't believe in. For me, I don't believe when somebody says, "Oh, this person is uneducated." Okay, if you're gonna make fun of this person and say, "Oh, I don't want to hear this person," this person is, but this person is your fellow brother. This person is your fellow sister. How can you help this person? Mind you now, togetherness, Liberian involvement is all about helping each other. So if you think I'm not competent, if you think I'm not educated, you are my brother, right?
Yep.
You're supposed to help me. You're supposed to say, hey, Hawa, I have some resources, you know, this might help you. And there's so many Liberians. I've lived in this community. There's so many things I have done. I have taught people who we all are familiar with. I'm not going to say names. I taught so many people how to drive. In 2004, 2005, I volunteered for Cali Social Services when they were bringing all the refugees from Ivory Coast. I was there. Surprisingly, some of our people didn't even know how to work a stove. You know, I mean, to even full shop. Even some people that even help with my own finances. You know, and the Logan team, we believe in confidentiality. Okay, so if you join our team, me serving as a chaplain, I will be there. I will respect you. Regardless whatsoever religion you are. I'm not here to just serve Christian. I'm here to serve all religion. I'm not here. I'm here to serve all gender. Whatever your sexual orientation is, and we're not going to be in. We're not judging. We want you to be part of. We want you to feel safe. This is a community. We want you to feel safe. And also, when I said mediocrity, we need to think out of the box.
Yes.
Okay, we need to be a reference to our community. See,
You are muted, Hawa.
We can't hear you.
Okay, Hawa, you can go off and come back on if we can hear you. Then we can. All right. So Hawa want to learn her thoughts, man. I know I can see her. She was getting very passionate. So while we wait for Bena, you're gonna come in, but while we wait for Hawa, let's hit the team song one more time while Hawa try to reconnect. All right.
Oh, shout out, baby. Take on. Indiana, be touchy. Really, yeah.
When you see feeling, you're more getting Indiana people are talking but talking too. They strong of the strike, I may follow you. So all my single mother should be jubilating, come be some feeling Logan. Do the real blessing like coming for the people. I'm beginning, I'm feeling Logan coming. I'm beginning, when you see feeling coming. I'm beginning, I'm feeling Logan coming. See your game. When the king of the jungle not around, all the KK dollar can be around profit. I feel it coming with force. Reuniting you, advocating for the poor. We salute you with the power to the people. Mais on fait les logins, now you be the hero on Indiana land. No more get the people them on a bad experience. Make politicians them they can open the skin. What I pay for you buy, you pay having people them, plenty people selling and tear on the land. So I begin with my feeling again coming. I begin with when I see feeling coming. I begin with my feeling again coming. I see you again with.
Y'all get away, get away, get away, get away. Y'all get away to G-Fede. Y'all open for Fede. They whisper he will kill it. They made too scared for here. Whole thing coming with the whole place. I see no opposition. I see no competition. The championship for Fede. Indiana nyo be down be pa Fede. Be pa. Imba son nyo be down be full Fede. Fugo mother, all the elders Fede ready lay up. Sons are new and be one when he will bring you together. Be here for children play.
Fede looking coming. I begin with. La Jivan Smith coming. I begin with. La Moe Kua coming. I begin with. Mama Kimenji coming. I begin with. Planet Ava coming. I begin with. I begin with. I begin with. La Pele Logan coming. I begin with. Moya Tibere coming. I begin with.
Son shadow baby, take on. Indiana nyo be surgery. Very dear.
When you see feeling team, you're more against you. Indiana people are talking too. The strong of the strike, I may properly you. So all my single mother, should be jubilating, come with a feeling logging. Don't a real blessing like coming for the people. I begin with a feeling logging.
There you have it.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I had somebody calling me, and
yeah,
I'm
that's
so
why.
back to pick up where I left off. I was
Mhm.
referencing Bernie's statement when she said that people tend to say, "Oh, this person, they don't even come in the community." Sometimes you don't know what's going on in people's life, even for a simple phone call. If you've been seeing this person for X amount of time and you can't see them anymore, give them a call. Try to find out what's going on with them. That's part of being involved, having community involvement. Don't just be so quick to castigate people. So this is everything we're trying to bring, and the new development, the new change we're trying to
Mhm.
bring onto the Liberian people. So tonight, I will urge you, please, if you like what we are spewing out tonight, please vote Team Logan. Okay, because we have our short term and our long term goal, and we would like to see you aboard. Thank you for
Thank you
listening
so
to me
much.
tonight.
So that's just one of the payloads. We are discussing just the last period that has to do with all Liberians' involvement. So if you're a Liberian living in South Bend, Nobleville, once you live in Indiana, we will have you being involved into this new leadership that coming, because this is about all Liberians, regardless of what your color, your age, your gender, your sexuality. It doesn't matter. What matter to us that you are a Liberian and you're part of this movement. Come in. We have so many good things for you. There are so many things in the other policies, but the most important policy here tonight, or the most important pillar, is the oil library involvement. That's Brandy. You heard her. She said that's a most important pillar. Because if we cannot unite, we cannot bring our people together. The rest of them will not be nothing to us. Because the key thing is to bring us together first. Because a united front cannot be divided so easily. It is enshrined within our national anthem. So tonight we have been here for 2 hours and 5 minutes. We're going to give the rest of the 20 minutes out to our spokesperson. He's going to just summarize it. Then we can give our parting. Mr. Bonaboble, the floor is out to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Well, it's a pleasure being on the show for the first time. I've come tonight to give my thoughts and my own say on the involvement of every Liberian into our community. I like to look back at the founders, the torchbearers, the original idea of this organization. When they came together in the beginning and thought that there should be an organization to bring every Liberian together, the idea was to have the community in unity, regardless of your age, your color, your religion, where you're from, whether you've been in this community since you were 2 and now you're in your 50s, whether you moved here 6 months ago. The fact that you are a Liberian and chose to be in Indiana, you should have a say as a Liberian in the Liberian community. That's why this pillar is so pivotal to the forward march of our community. All Liberian involvement is the bedrock of this organization. It is a privilege to come together, give everyone the opportunity to have a say in what happens in this community. For so long, the community have been, just reduced to a handful of people. You can only get involved if you are willing to commit or bring down yourself to the few people who think that they are first-class citizens amongst Liberians. Or you are their relations, or you are able to render some service to them. But under our Logan administration, we said all Liberian involvement. It doesn't matter whether you work at a group home or in the warehouse, or you work for a Fortune 500 company. We want to reach out to every major city, every city that we can reach, as far as South Bend, Bloomington, Muncie, Anderson, Richmond, Fort Wayne. There are Liberians who have the kind of innovation to impact our community. But all we do, we confine this organization to Indianapolis. No vision. I hear how I'm talking about people being in your car, and that's it. But now new breed of people are coming to the front line to get involved. And you hear people like, where have you been? And you've been away. We don't see you. Yes, people got bills. You don't expect people to show up to every little baby shower. Every Liberian contribute their quota to this community in every given way that they have. You might have interest in a party life. Another Liberian could have interest in the religious community. Some other people contribute immensely to this community. They don't go on the chat rooms to lay out their thoughts. But when people feel that they have deeds to these chat rooms, then they are involved. There are tons of Liberians who contribute, but yet they don't go to those chat rooms to talk. And when you show up, they're like, where have you been? I asked somebody the other day, how do you think our computers get service? I do them free of charge. But somebody asked me the other day, where have you been? Yeah. Probably when you're boarding at the parties, I'm engaged with something else. It doesn't mean I'm not involved in the community. I hit the ground in this community running. I spent less than 2-3 months in the community, and I was part of the decision-making process in the Peters administration. And I've been involved ever since. Somebody asked you been away, yeah. But then you get the fact that COVID hit 2 years ago, and people have been staying back from public involvement. They don't, they think small. So this time around, We have come to revolutionize this community. We're going to reach out to everybody that can be reached because we require the innovation of everyone, their intelligence to raise this community from where it is to where we can move it. So all Liberian involvement is the bedrock of this campaign. There are 4 pillars, but this pillar, this very pillar, is the bedrock of what we represent. Because we can't sit back and watch other Liberians be ostracized. Someone say, oh, this other person is an outcast to the community. How can you say that? And you want to lead this community, and you characterize other people as outcasts. You characterize other people as being too new to the community. Yeah, the person might be so new. What if their ideas are so powerful to move this community to the next level, but they are too new to the community? Oh, the person not socially like, yeah, people are born with different characters. Some people are introverts, other people are not. Do you expect an introvert to show up at every function? No. But when it comes to contributing to the community, they have their own way to lay it out. So all Liberian involvement is going to be fostered to the letter by this Logan administration. We're going to go beyond tribalism. We're going to go beyond sexism. Oh, she's too young to be a first lady. What is the set criteria or age limit to be a first lady? Or she's a Lebanese to be our first lady. That's profiling a person. You can live in a community and you can unify everybody. Everybody, this community thing needs to be inclusive of everybody, regardless of who you are. You can be too young, but your ideas could be big. You can be as old as Methuselah, but yet your contribution is still needed. So all Liberian involvement is what we need. So I'm saying to our supporters out there, reach out to everybody. There are people who want to get involved, but they stay by because every time they come around, people put a cast on their, yeah, but where have you been? Who are you? You can't do this because of X, Y, and Z.
Your name is not on the roster.
Your name is not on the roster. Are you a due paying association member? Do you know the present financial crisis? No, you don't. So if you cast all these clouds around people, how do you expect them to get involved? That person with a financial challenge who have skills to benefit the community, but because you ostracize them because of their constraint at the moment, you deny our community of having that expertise used for the betterment of our community. So Tim Phillips say, all Liberian involvement. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bernard Beauplay. I love the way you just summarize it. You just nailed it. You just nailed it. Trust me. Everyone else nailed it as well, but you are indeed the spokesperson of this all-important movement. And I want to say to my sister Hawa and my sister Bernie, you guys are the real hero in this movement here. And most especially for Hawa, to be the person who will connect us to God. You are strong, and we know we can do it. We are capable of moving this community forward. We are in another generation. We are in the 21st century. It's about innovation. We can sit down here and say, well, we'll not use our innovative thinking. We just keep doing things as the way it used to be. There's no more time for experimenting. It's about time that we live intentionally. So with this pillow that Bernard just summarized, you following us, even you that oppose us, you can see yourself within this pillow. And we are calling on all of our supporters, go into the opposite camp, explain to them what our intentions are, what we intend to do, how we intend to bring this community together, that no one will be judged by the colors of their skin, or how short they are, how tall they are, how bright, or whatever complexion they have, or which tribe they belong to. But they will be judged because they are Liberian and they're contributing to the Liberian community. And we just don't want this to be in Indianapolis. We want this to spread out to all Liberians in Indiana, regardless of what. If possible, we want to extend this to our motherland. And the message to you out there today, you too can lead. We all can lead. You don't necessarily have to live here for 35 years or 45 years. When you come with new minds, new thinking that you believe can move this community forward, get involved. And one thing I can say to you people, this ship will always have room for new ideas. We will not be stuck into our thinking. We're going to create rooms for people to come in. And we will always be open to new ideas, new thinking, because the only way this community can move forward is to have new people on board who will almost criticize us and which will be open to criticism. Once the criticism is constructive, we will be open. We will take the necessary corrections that can move the community forward. That will be healthy for us. And the first thing we intend to do to move this community forward in our first 100 days is to first identify where we have all of the Liberians. That's where we're coming in to conduct a survey. This survey will go on from place to place in every corners of where we have Liberians, and we're going to have a first unique database of all the Liberians that live in Indianapolis and Indiana as a whole. We're going to have their unique addresses. Tomorrow, when there's an emergency or something that we need to do, maybe like what happened during COVID period, we have to be asking where this person live and where that person live. We're just going to go into the system, enter the database, and we can drive to your house without any hesitation and drop whatever relief funds or whatever thing we have. So we have been working on this issue that has to do with the survey, because the survey is very important. Because remember, we are 501c3 organization. If we decide to go to donor to ask for any assistance, the first thing they want to know is, what is your size? Give your population density. How many old people you have? How many young people you have? How many children you have? How many single mothers? So the survey that will be carried on in places in Indiana simultaneously, we have different survey questions that will identify each person. So we are asking all Liberians to get involved. Get involved with your community. When we start this survey, we're going to make it so unique that we can also use a link that will be unique to each person. But we are saying to you out there, let's get together and let's move this community forward. So Jivon is in the call. Before we do our closing, let's get Jivon closing first, because Jivon have to go. Then we come to each of the members are here. Jivon Smith, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right. So let's get your closing first. Then we'll go to each of the people here because we've been here for 2 hours now.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to the listener, thanks to the rest of the panelists tonight. Reach out to all of our listeners if you have questions. Ask. If we don't know the answer, those who know me personally, reach out and ask me. If I don't know the answer, I will tell you I do not know, but I will get your answer as soon as possible. I'm not a custodian of knowledge. I don't know everything. If you have a doubt, you need clarification, reach out. Come on with the criticism. I love criticism. I love critical thinkers. Now, I'm talking about critical thinkers. I'm not just saying it by the name or by the word. Actual critical thinkers who can put logic and reasoning together and prove a point. Bring it. Even if you're not a critical thinker, you have a criticism. Bring it. It helps us. It helped me as a person to be better, to reevaluate my position. Again, thank you, everyone. I have to leave.
Thank you so much, Mr. Javon Smith. So that was about the voice of Ivan Javon Smith. You all know him. So we will go to our sister Hawa Kilima to give us her parting statement.
Yes. Proverbs chapter 29:18 says that where there is no vision, the people perish. And it also says that, but who that keepeth the law, happy is he. I just want to tell everyone thank you for listening. There you go. You heard our vision statement tonight. And I just want to say, like our brother, the incoming vice said, if you want to criticize us, we take constructive criticism. You know, we will learn from those constructive criticism, and we will go from there. So, those tonight who are indecisive, you are thinking about which camp, you know, just go back and play this video and watch it once more. And I hope and pray that you get on board. Thank you tonight for watching. Hope to
Thank you
see
so
you soon.
much. Thank you so much, Ms. Hawa Kilima. Thank you so much. All right, so we will go to the tough talking Bernie Afa.
Well, I would just like to say thanks to everybody for listening to what we stand for and what we're trying to bring to the community. Hope it was able to touch everybody that's listening in a way to where you can understand what we are here to do, and we are here for the community. I just want to point something out before I read this quote.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to personally thank Mrs. Logan. I know everybody says she's young, but I am very amazed how talented she is as a person. She's a good mother. She's a good wife. She works. On top of that, she's a photographer. She decorates. She cooks. She's a woman of God. Do not estimate somebody because of their age. She's a very powerful and resourceful person that we need in our community. And I just want to personally thank her for her hard work in the back. And everybody do
Mhm.
not need a light bulb to say, hey, I did this. And she's one of those persons. She's always there when you call on her. I just want to say personally thank you. I would just leave with a quote that I have here. It says, change is a force that would drive us forward. Whether you are comfortable with it or not, things will change. And preparing yourself for that change help you to be better equipped with the future. The change is here. We are here to change our community. Voting, feel it. Thank you guys. We can't hear you.
Thank you so much, Bernice. So let's go to our brother Bernard Buple to give us his parting.
I'm listening to Brittany, and I'm just amazed. When I first met her, I didn't know she would fire some oil cylinder in this manner. I was like, oh my God. And someone asked, can she even
Uh-huh.
talk? I should be part of material. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, there they go again. And yeah, I am just sitting back and listening to Bernice just firing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we want in our community. You're never gonna know the potential of a person until you include them into the narrative. Most people are dead endowed with so many gifts and talents. But because we narrowed our minds, draw conclusions, we scrape the happiness to a few group of people. That's why we don't move forward. That's why for years the association has been in existence. It just lives in Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
When you push it a little bit, it might move a little bit to Noblesville or to Canby. Probably people in Westfield, Zionsville, cities that are right around Indianapolis have not even experienced the existence. But with this administration to come, we are going to push power. We are going to expand the tentacles of LAI beyond the horizon of Indianapolis. We are going to reach out to the too young to lead, the too old to give advices, the too new to the community. Those that have been here forever by introversion don't come out. We're going to try to reach everyone. We're going to break the divide. Whether you have the history of being an ex-combatant, whether you have the history of stealing state coffers, whether you have been to jail, whether you used to be a troublemaker that people will call you orcas, whatever you are, we're going to reach out to you because we believe people do change and they can make an impact regardless of their history. So tonight, we say all Liberian involvement, Christian, Muslim, whether you go to my church, whether you go to someone else's church, it doesn't matter. What we require from Team Logan is your input, your innovation, your idea. There is something that lies within you that you can contribute to the development of this community. That's why we need every hand on that. When I say every hand, I mean no man left behind. That's what all Liberian involvement stand for. Change may be uncomfortable, like Brandon says, but it is a good thing to welcome. And on a side note, I want to say that we keep this conversation safer throughout these elections. We stay high. We have accepted to be the bigger persons in this election, though we have the younger generation as our following. We will not go down low or drag ourselves in the mud, because we understand that after elections, our community needs to strive. So no amount of pressure from the other side. They can use all the chicaneries. They can flood our chat room with pictures as pageantries. We present the issue. And I was expecting by this time of the campaign, I might be sitting across the table for someone from the opposition, discussing a platform, critiquing what they have to offer. But it is saddening. You can have a whole week head start to a campaign and still yet have nothing to present. Like I said on the chat room, this is the weakest contender I have met in my entire life. So, with that being said, I want to encourage you guys. Bring something, let's discuss. I'm getting bored in these elections. I want to be active, talking about the issue, talking the things that benefit our community, talking how well we can lead this community and move it to another section. Please, 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 Team Parker, come with some tangibles. Let's discuss the issue. Leave the trivial and sentimental things that don't help our community. You are more dividing our community in these elections with all the bad muffing, the disrespect to the elderly, the disrespect to the church. That's why the election, they didn't even care about God to the extent that they didn't even put for a Champlain on the ticket. So please, stop bad muffing the church. Stop disrespecting our elderly. These people have sacrificed their services to this community, and that decisions may not be what you want to hear, but they speak wisdom. You cannot want leadership and cannot respect leadership. The old African artists say we sit on the old mat to be able to plot the new ones. If you discard or throw away the blueprints on which you're supposed to look at, sorry, my brother, you have nothing to offer.
It's true.
And that is the lack of vision, the lack of innovation. So please, let's keep this election safer. I want us to all have fun. when the election is over, there shouldn't be bad blood still running for years. Because after these elections, our goal is to involve all Liberians. And with tensions, it will be a difficult job.
It's true.
So please, keep it safe up. Make the debate issue oriented. Bring a platform. Let's discuss it. Please, if you need assistance with writing one, probably we can help you. But we say all Liberian involvement. I thank you, Philip.
Thank you so much, Honorable Bernard Boblet. Thanks to Hawaii and thanks to Bernie's guys. I see you people already after 9. And
Okay.
I know people go to sleep now. Okay, Bernice, Bernard, I see you guys.
All right.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
So shout baby, take on. Indiana number 30. Very here.
When you see Philippine, you're more against you. Indiana people are talking but talking too. The son of the strike, I may properly you. So all my single mother should be jubilating. Come with a feeling Logan. Gonna be a blessing like coming for the people. I'll be getting a feeling Logan coming. I'll be getting when you see Philip coming. I'll be getting a feeling Logan coming. Position getting. When the king of the jungle not around, all the KK dollar can be around profit. And Philip coming with force, reuniting you, advocating for the poor. We salute you with the power to the people. There's a Philip Logan, that you be the hero on Indiana land. No mortgage and stand, let the people land on our bad experience. Fake politicians, them they can open the skin. What I pay for you, buy you pay having people tempt and they plan the people selling and tear on the land. So I'll be getting I feel it again coming. I'll be getting when I see Philip coming. I'll be getting I feel it again coming. Position getting
Y'all get away. Y'all get away to G-Philip. Y'all open for Philip. They whisper he will kill it. They may too scared for here. What he coming with the whole place. I see no opposition. I see no competition. The chairmanship for Philip. Indiana nyo be down be pa Philip. The power. In Bashan nyo be down be full Philip. Full mother, all the elders Philip ready layer. Sons are new nyo be one when he will bring you together. He here for children play.
Philip looking coming. I'll be